You may think that Assassin's Creed Shadows is about betrayal, revenge, and an unstoppable samurai, and even though you'd be right, I uncovered the most sinister plot in the history of the known world, one which goes back centuries in a secret that I vowed would be mine, but let me take you back to the beginning. Once upon a time, there was a ninja in training called Naoe, daughter of a talented musician. I did not know it yet, but my opinion of myself as a shinobi was much higher than objective reality. But that did not stop me from thinking I could take a master swordsman on in single combat. However, getting to my sword was more difficult than expected. Throughout my duel, I learned an important lesson that would scar me for life, and that was if you turn your back on your opponent, then your backside becomes a place to park swords. This made me mad, of course, and I taught Daddy a lesson of my own, defeating him easily.
I let you win.
Oh, you did you? Dad wanted to talk about the plot of this game, but I wanted to practice some Naruto running on the fence instead.
Naoe! That's my daughter.
I'm talking to you now.
Shut up, you're boring.
Always running off.
I wasn't finished.
Apparently, ninja practice was on hold until I'd helped my Auntie Matsu out. What a waste of a day. Then again, if Auntie, say, had an accident, there would be no chores to do. Nobody would know. She was as old as a fossil. I could do it. No one would suspect a thing, you old crone!
Good morning, Auntie Matsu.
Naoe!
I was eager to do whatever needed to be done so I could get back to ninja things.
An old woman forgets.
Oh, what a shame. Time to go. First order of the day was to perform the Assassin's Creed leap from a high tower, which didn't quite go as planned as I stepped on a brazier, setting myself on fire. However, I nimbly scrambled to the top and prepared to fly. After much recovery and 3 months of physiotherapy, I found myself on a secret mission with my dad that would uncover my destiny with fried chicken. But first, there was a whoopsie-daisy with my horse. Dad had gone ahead and didn't see the crash, but a vegan warrior from the future stood before me, trying to prevent a tasty legacy from ever forming. Now was the time for learning. Red glow equals dodge, enemy glow equals vulnerable, and when the yellow bar is depleted, the hat flies off and we can work on that health bar. Whilst this looked as if it was my first real fight ever, I can assure you it was not, but this one went way better than the last one. I caught up to Dad and he revealed the hidden blade that would soon turn me into a mass murderer, but most importantly, he told me to go after a box. The contents of this box were rumoured to be the Colonel's secret KFC spice recipe. I set off to find this box, but enemies were around for reasons that would involve watching the cutscenes.
We don't do that here.
Perhaps they wanted the box for themselves, and if this was the case, we couldn't allow it. There was one more enemy between me and the box, so to get the high ground, I of course set myself on fire once again, before unleashing the hidden blade. Victory was mine, and I found the hidden recipe stashed away in a tiny cave. This short story had come to an end, or so I thought. A Burger King samurai had followed me inside. I wasn't about to let this bully take away my box. He should have killed me when he had the chance, because while there was life left in my body, I would follow that recipe to the ends of the earth. I tracked the unmasked lord back to his castle, and the grappling hook allowed me to reach new heights. The glowing blue marker from my ninja senses provided me with all the intel I needed, and yet a keen-eyed guard stood between me and my legacy. I hoped that my kunai was sharp enough, but even if it wasn't, I'd been using it to trim my infected toenails earlier on. Eat fungus! I decided to hide the body, but immediately regretted that decision when I realised just how heavy the male body really was.
There it is.
There it wasn't. My blue-eyed glowing sense had lied to me, but I found another one soon enough. Guards below me. It was a long jump, but I knew I could make it.
Oh?
Stop her!
Turns out that my levels of confidence and intelligence were not a match. I was forced to fight, but seeing how I sucked at it, I opted for the good old hit and run instead. Enemies were still following me, but surely this time the box would be mine.
Still not the right box.
Robbed again. Oh well, if I couldn't steal it back, I'd kill it back. The time for stealth was over, and to be fair, it never really got going today, so I would just take it off this guy's cold, dead whopper fingers.
He's there with the box. This is it. To get the box back, I have to kill him. I can do it with my grappling hook. I have to leave.
And leave I needed to, but without any sense of direction whatsoever. I needed to buy some time to think. Besides, I was way too fast for these Twilight rent-a-cops. Ow, okay, that was enough thinking. I had to leave. Now! I was half expecting to belly flop straight into the water, but to my surprise... Finally, my mission was complete and the recipe was
Yoink!
Somehow, I survived, but to win the war of the chicken, there could be no more shortcuts, no more hit and runs. I would need to become the ninja I was born to be. The art of war needed studying too, and one fine afternoon, while out on my horse, I came across a battle and decided to observe the strategies of these ruthless men. The man with the big whacking stick was clearly the boss of this battle, and predicting the victorious side was the first skill that I honed. Well, that was a lucky shot. The samurai on 1 HP approached the bowman. Of course, he wouldn't last very long. Wrong again. Then there were only 2 gunmen left, one from each side. When enough bullets had been fired, they engaged in their final battle. It was over, and today I learned that strength is overrated, firearms are OP, but most of all, life isn't fair, sucker! As I left this place, I noticed another box, well guarded. Could these men have been transporting the KFC recipe? I tried to sneakily open that box, but their eyes were fixed upon me, and stealth failed again. Take a hit! I felt like a pinball machine, but I knew that I couldn't afford to get shot again. While I was disappointed that the box contained armor, it gave me an idea. What if I went to the highest level area in the entire game and looked for the box there? Sure, I might be level 4 now and they'd all be level 35, but this was a much better plan than just getting good. All I had to do was, get lucky. Further along the road, though, the locals were getting harassed by soldiers.
Slice your belly open for the insult alone.
I couldn't take them in combat, but I had another, dumber idea.
Oda Zashigaru. I can't let this stand.
Oh, I tripped. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Hello, sir. Mind if I get through?
Thank you. The soldier's cruelty knows no bounds.
I'll be on the lookout. For you and others like you.
Thank you, stranger.
And all it will cost you is 10% of all your future business. Arriving at the level 35 zone, doubt crept into my heart, so I washed it away with delusions of grandeur and set about finding a vantage point.
This place is hostile.
How could a rock be hostile territory, eh? Fear rose within me as I climbed those perilous rocks. A red box! Oh, just tools. Hey, Icarus, is that you? Oh, wrong game. All of a sudden, I heard level 35 voices. It wasn't safe here, and the blood of a fellow traveller had been splattered all over these rocks. It was time to admit that this was a horrible idea, to cut my losses and just get out of here. But then, amidst the 2 men arguing, I spotted it. Not quite as red as I remember, but this was worth the risk. If I came all this way, might as well see what level 35 loot looked like. Then I heard the glimmering of treasure right behind me, hidden among the rocks. A legendary mask! A level 5 broken legendary mask. Oh well, I made a play for the red box.
That's suspicious. Stop before this gets...
Surprisingly, the kick did not kill me. But unsurprisingly, my attacks did precisely 0 damage. I looted the box, accepted my failure, and fled. And so it seemed I'd have to level up the old-fashioned way. I nearly threw up in my mouth at the thought of helping people, completing quests. I just wanted my box back. Perhaps a new weapon would help. So the shopkeeper with the magnificent chest oddly knew that these things belonged to me already. I needed someone to try out my shiny new Kusarigama on, and it would just so happen that I heard of another lead in search for the box. The town's executioner actually knew what it was, but as I was completely useless in combat, I'd have to up my stealth game. I know what you're thinking. Spend your talent points, use the skills. What do you want me to do? Navigate the menus? Don't be crazy, man! I was a ghost. No one could even see me in the light of day. The ninja training had paid off. But when I arrived at the executioner's grounds, he was about to pass sentence on helpless civilians. It was time to come up with a flawless plan, but first I had to scout the area. Excuse me, coming through. As you were. Carry on. Don't panic. I said don't panic!
You're just wasting my time.
I am sorry.
Sure. Watch yourself around here.
Well, I wasn't getting through the front door. This had to be done quietly. I needed information on the box, not a bloodbath. But then the executioner's guards would only get in the way. So I took them out one by one. I just had to hope that no one was executed, as belly crawling was taking quite a while. But fortunately, I got to the last guard with time to spare. Now what? I couldn't assassinate the big guy. Instead, I decided to knock him out and wake him up later for a nice chat. The citizens were free, but that's when it happened.
Seize the shinobi!
What did he mean, seize me? Who was he talking to? I'd taken them all. Ouch! Oh well, I'd have to beat it out of him instead.
Where is
The box!
I will die before I say!
so be it?
I had two major problems right now. One was that I had zero skills equipped on the bar whatsoever, and the other, I had no idea how to use my new weapon. So I went back to the katana and hoped that random unpredictable spamming would pay off, because not even I knew how my attacks would come out. 2 out of 3 executions had been stopped. All in all, a good day. And now I knew exactly where the KFC recipe was headed. The boat had already undocked from the harbour, and I reluctantly swam out before remembering I'm a terrible swimmer, so I opted to rent another boat instead.
I need your boat, please.
I was actually fine with the original owner sticking around, but he had other ideas. Shame really, because I'm actually a really good sea captain. I stealthily climbed the boat and got the attention of the meanest warrior I could find. Believe me guys, I was spamming F to assassinate him, but I was already rumbled now, and the entire crew were at battle stations. So, plan B, run to the chest and get the heck out of here! Finally, I had the recipe, but if I was to make my fortune, I needed to survive, and that was easier said than done. I tried to blow the boat up, but apparently I needed to be anonymous. Fine then, if I couldn't kill these guys in honorable combat, I'd test their sense of balance instead.
Give me a worthy fight.
Once enough spines had been busted off the lower decks, I concluded business by setting the boat ablaze, because a new business owner was in town with fried chicken that would be taking the country by storm. So the business failed and I'm a shinobi again. It turned out that the sake business was more important to the locals, and I was hired to deal with drunken samurais who couldn't control themselves instead. These elite warriors were just getting blootered and then passing out on the fields causing trouble, and it somehow became my responsibility.
Stupid peasants. Bring me more sake.
I approached a formidable foe and put him to sleep. Then I considered what a mighty battle might look like to finish this tale in style. An incredible showdown to prove that samurai may have the upper hand when it comes to brute strength, but the shinobi... Yeah, well, stick with what you're good at, I say. Thanks very much to Ubisoft for giving me a key to play Assassin's Creed Shadows early. If you liked Odyssey and Valhalla and you wanted a bit more of a polished parkour and combat experience, this game is definitely for you. I've had a great time with it. Cannot wait to play it more. I might stream it if I can be bothered, but yeah, that'll do it for now. Take it easy. Catch you on the next one. Later.